Just made clear his journey toward the cross. If I try to depict what it was like to be in that room, that there was a real seriousness, a real sobriety. So when everyone is saying the same thing, that you don't know how to talk to people, maybe it's nothing wrong with their ears, maybe it's something wrong with your mouth.
Whew. So I gotta Sarah Jakes, she gets me together every time, like every time. I must say that that just like brings a lot to light for me and brings a lot into perspective because, well, duh, perspective means light. Okay, guys, just bear with me. I've been having a rough week. To be completely transparent, this is a week where I've been feeling so empty inside, like lost, just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Um, I feel like any woman that has been in my shoes before, that had to be forced to rebuild and start all over by the people that she trusted and loved the most, would eventually get to that level of feeling broken. And to be quite honest with you guys, I have never had the chance to dwell in my feelings my whole entire life. My whole entire life is always, you gotta keep going, be strong, you're a strong black girl, be strong, you got this, keep going. I've never had somebody turn to me and say, you know what, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel broken. You are a woman. It's okay to be vulnerable. Because even with vulnerability, it's just like, oh, she's playing the victim. Where is the common denominator for us women to be in our feminine energy and still take on life as it comes? It's almost like we have to pick and choose. It's either we're a strong black woman or we're not. Why can't there be middle ground where we could actually act from a place of humility and be like, okay, you know what, this day I'm not feeling it, I'm not with it, you know? So, this sermon, Own Your Lessons by Sarah, go listen to it. It really brought some perspective for me, and I needed that because it's basically letting you know, like, you're gonna miss the mark sometimes. Nobody is on point in life. Even if you feel like God is guiding you a certain type of direction and you're supposed to do this and you're aware of your purpose, it doesn't mean you're not gonna miss your mark. It doesn't mean that you could be productive one week and everything goes smooth, and then the next week everything's gonna be smooth too. No, you're gonna miss your mark, and it's okay. It's okay. And that's why you stay rooted and grounded within yourself. That's why it's so important not to lose yourself no matter what the circumstances is. And I've like been grounded in that because to everybody watching me, you guys think I have it made. You think it's so perfect for me. Like, you think I go through nothing. And it's because I control what I want people to see. You know? For me to sit here and be vulnerable and open up to you right now, I chose to do that. Otherwise, you would think I'm living it up, right? You would think that everything is smooth sailing for me right now, right? So it just boils down to owning up to the fact that every aspect of your life is a choice, but within those choices, you will miss your mark. Nothing is gonna always be the way you wanted it to be. And that hit home for me this week. Because let me tell you, I wasn't going to record. I was not going to pick up the camera. I was like, to hell with this YouTube stuff. To hell with every other platform that I have. I'm just like, at my breaking point, I'm done. Because I just feel like I get up every day remaining hopeful, remaining in that independent mind frame where it's just like, okay, you gotta get it done, you gotta get it done. I started to feel like a zombie. I didn't start to feel like I was in my own zone. Even with my podcast, guys, I should have started season 3 like last month. But I keep putting it off. I keep putting it off because, there's some doubt there. What if it is not received the way how I know God wanted me to relay it? Because even with that podcast, I never saw that coming. I never saw myself doing a podcast. But it happened in a prophetic way. I was fasting and praying and just giving God a lot of attention. And I said, God, show me what you want me to do. Show me what's next. Show me what's next. And literally the podcast just fell in my lap. And I don't know how to do a podcast. I don't have a team around me. But I started it. I figured out how to do the cover, everything by myself. And I was shocked at the type of material I came up with for the podcast. And the few listeners that I do have love it. And now all it calls for is for me to market it properly and for me to have a solid studio space to record and for me to be consistent. And it's hard because even with that, I realized in life, I have no problem producing things. I have no problem coming up with projects. The problem I have is being consistent. The problem I have is being in my element and applying that to each project that I have. Because somebody can have tons of businesses out there, but it won't mean nothing if they don't get it up and running, right? And that says a lot about you as a person. So in my lesson, bringing it back to Sarah Jakes, in my lesson this month, I've learned my lesson is to stop giving up. Like, I give up. I gave up. I gave up on a lot of stuff in life, and it's just like, for me, the reason why I give up is because of my background, coming from a traumatic past where, in your mind or in my mind, I'm thinking like, all right, if I was so loyal to certain people and they did me the way they did me, now moving forward, once I see a sign, okay, that's it. In healthcare, working at the hospitals, being that passionate healthcare professional that wants everybody to survive and be in good health, you advocate for them. You say, hey, I noticed that this person needs this, needs that, and you get negative feedback. So now moving forward in life, I'm just like, okay, well, my opinion definitely doesn't matter. And if I see a situation that I know is sticky, I'm going to walk away. So now I find myself just avoiding stuff and not shutting down. I avoid stuff and I shut down. And that's not good. That's not good at all. Because how am I going to remain productive if I keep doing that? And so I find myself thinking like, okay, what is the solution to this? How do I overcome this feeling of just like, the minute something goes wrong, I'm done. Is it the feeling of scared to fail? Or is it the feeling of I just don't have what it takes? I bit off more than I can chew. Like, guys, I have to keep up with so much stuff. Like, sometimes I literally feel like I'm going crazy. Okay, behind the scenes, just being a mom, business goals, content, marketing, finances, budgeting, feeding into projects. Okay, what can I take a risk with? What can I not take a risk with? Trying to balance everything, dating, motherhood. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And I'm not lying to you. Sometimes I wish that there was someone that I could literally just like call and run to when I need a hug, or when I need to hide, or when I need to get my thoughts together, or when I need a break. I can't tell you when's the last time I had a break. I've been working since I was 16. I haven't had a break. Sometimes I feel like my body is shutting down, and just when I thought I knew my body and I did the whole healing journey, and just when you think you got it, you realize you don't all the way got it, if you catch my drift. And so this sermon really did it did a great deal for me this week. Honestly, I didn't, like I said, I wasn't gonna record this Sunday. um my channel, if you notice, I used to do videos, excuse me. I used to do videos like twice a week. Now it's only on Sundays because that's what I could work with. Because right throughout the week, I have other stuff that I'm trying to give my time to. And you guys may go on my social media platforms and think like, oh, she's not posting as much and she's just laid back and she's just. I have celebrities that check in with me, that believe in my work, that know that I'm not lazy, but at the same time, it is like, oh my god, like celebrities are watching me, you know? And then it's like, it makes me think like, okay, am I doing enough to keep their attention? Am I like, what can I change? What can I? So I start to psych myself out. I start to drive myself crazy a little bit, you know? Because the end goal is to be successful like everybody else, right? And I know I can accomplish it, but it also makes me think like, okay, what does success mean to me? Because success has different meanings for everybody, for people that have different walks of life. Okay, what is success to me? So hearing this sermon and reflecting on it, owning your lessons. I done been through a lot of damn lessons now. I've been through a lot of lessons. Lessons that I didn't know how to interpret at the time. Like, it took me a year or so to really get it. Lessons that almost ruined me. Lessons that I tried to avoid, but it happened anyway. You ever go through a phase where like you see something coming and you try to avoid it, but it just gets you anyway? You're like, shit. Yeah, I've had those lessons. But the beauty about it is I'm still here. And I still have hope, and I still believe in my future. And I know I could feel it. Like, there's great things waiting on me. I could feel it, but it's just to get there. And to get there, I gotta own my stuff. I gotta own my lessons. You know, this sermon really, Sarah, she gets it done, okay? She gets it done. thank God for her, because there's a lot of young women that can relate to her. And God don't make mistakes. Even if you look at her story, as she says, getting pregnant, the preacher's daughter getting pregnant and out of wedlock, and everybody's just like ready to disown her and make her feel like the worst. And now look, now she's pastor in the church, very, very prosperous, one of the main pastors at that, and traveling the world, preaching, changing lives, saving lives. Those very same people that try to deny her and disown her because of one lesson that she had to go through. Now they're all looking up to her. Now they're all watching her. Now they're all depending on her word and her preaching. And that's just like funny to me, because sometimes I think like all the people that on the sidelines hating on me and like, you know, scheming and plotting, and at the end of the day, you still have to sit back and watch my growth. It's almost like you're obsessed with me, my life, what I have going on. And no matter how much you try to downplay me or what I have going on, or you don't believe in me, you still have to watch me. And that's God. It ain't nobody but God, because He is doing something great in me. And greatness takes time. It's a process. And so I don't really feed into the haters, because they have to do their job. And I just wonder sometimes, like, if they don't realize that, you know, you're going to be a part of my testimony, because I'm going to look back and remember all the people that tried to set me up, all the people that tried to shame me, all the people that tried to embarrass me, all the people that didn't believe in me, all the people that tried to tear me down. I'm going to remember all of you when I'm up here. And that's going to be the moment I'm going to have the greatest testimony of my life. Because the Bible says He will make your enemies your footstool. And I have seen it play out in my life so many times. Like, I'm not bragging or boasting. I've seen it happen so many times. My enemy, like, I will look you in your face and know that you're about to do something shady to me, and I'll just leave it alone. And by the following week, you're running back to me, you're pleading, apologizing, or you'll just do something out of the blue to try to make it up to me. And I didn't say a word. I didn't open my mouth. I just let it slide. I've seen that happen so many times with a lot of people. That's why no matter what, I may not be the biggest Christian in the world, but if I could find the time to pray, to fast, you best believe I'm gonna do it. Because I know that along the way, through all these journeys and lessons, God is with me all the way. And I owe it all to Him. I owe it all to Him. Because I was once down a dark, lonely road that I never thought I could come out of. And it was a dark, lonely road that the people that I loved wholeheartedly put me on. Purposely put me on. When can you fathom the idea of watching somebody that you trusted the most? And it's not people that you trusted overnight. It's people you've known your whole life. And you just, like, you never saw it coming. And you find yourself on this dark path, this dark, lonely path. And they're literally, like, laughing at you and see you suffering and just talking crap, and, like, would never, ever throw you a lifeline. Ever. Because they wanted to see me in a dark place. They wanted to leave me for dead. They wanted me to suffer. They wanted me to be out of my mind. They wanted me to be nothing, to soothe their own insecurities. And I found myself in that place, and still to this day, I don't know how. I don't know how I got out of it alone. I don't know how I made it out by myself. I don't know the first step I took, because there was times that I didn't want to be here no more, because I didn't know where to turn or what to do, and there was definitely nobody to call but God. So everybody has a past and everybody has a journey. And for those of you that have been watching my journey from day one, thank you. Those of you that have been supporting me from day one, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And those of you that are just watching because you want to see if I'm going to fail and you want to see if my story is going to end with the happily ever after, keep watching. Tell a friend to tell a friend too. Because I promise you, I may not have it all figured out, but God is not done with me yet.